Hi, my name is John. I'm the owner of Light My Fire in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And in today's video, we're going to show you how to use the Green Smart or Pro Flame remote control system for a gas fireplace. The unit we're going to be demonstrating this on is the Fireplace X 616 gas insert. All right, so to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to remove the safety barrier screen so you can see some of the controls behind it so you have a better idea what I'm talking about. So most fronts, if you lift up a little bit and pull out, you can take the front off and you can see access to the controls. Now the newer style remote controls look like this. They're rectangular in shape. Older remote controls, more than a couple years old, are going to look like this. It doesn't matter. They both work the same way. They're interchangeable. The buttons are the same. These are the power buttons. These are the thermostat buttons. This is the mode button, and then you got your up and down arrows here. All right. Now, there are two versions of these remote controls. You have an older version and a new version. Fireplace X has Green Smart 1 and Green Smart 2. Mendota has Pro Flame 1, Pro Flame 2. They're very similar. There are a couple differences between the two, which we'll get into, but it doesn't matter. This video is good for either the old version or the new version. Now, to tell the difference, all you have to look is on the display. When the system is off, you always see the room temperature in the upper right-hand corner. On the older version of these remotes, you're going to see an icon of a house. If you see that, you have the older version of this SIT remote control system. If you don't see the house, then you have the newer version. The main differences between the old version and the new one is the old version, to light the pilot, there's a switch. So if you come over to this Mendota, this is a Mendota gas insert that's about 10 years old. There's a little simple up and down toggle switch on these older Mendotas to light the pilot. So you flip it up, the pilot comes on. You flip it down, the pilot light goes out. Now, on the newer version, you do it from the remote control. So to light the pilot on the newer version, the system has to be off. When the system is off, you hit the bottom mode button. And then it comes up either IPI, which stands for intermittent pilot ignition, or if you hit the up arrow, it goes to CPI, continuous pilot ignition. So you hit the up arrow, put it into CPI. All right, you're gonna have a couple ticks and the pilot just came on. And then you're also gonna notice when the pilot light comes on the display, you'll see a picture, an icon of a snowflake. If you see that snowflake, the pilot light should be on. So that's how you get the pilot going. Now, to operate the remote, the top button is your power on and power off. So if you hit the top button once, whole system will come on. The next button down is your thermostat button. These remote controls have 3 different thermostat modes you can put them in. The first one, in the upper left-hand corner, if you look, it says thermostat off. That's the first mode. The second mode is thermostat on. The third one is thermostat smart. So you have off, on, and smart. You go back to off. So the first thermostat mode, thermostat off, is telling you your thermostatic feature of the fireplace is turned off. Your flame is on high. In this mode, the fire will stay on continuously until you shut it down. Even if your room temperature gets up to 80, 90 degrees, it's still going to stay on because the thermostat setting is turned off. If you hit the thermostat button once, you go to the second thermostat mode, thermostat on. Now the thermostatic feature of your fireplace is turned on, and in the middle, your set temperature appears. So it's set for 41, it's reading 82 in the room, so it's not calling for heat, the fire shut off. To adjust your set temperature in the middle, use the up and down arrows and put the set temperature where you want the room to be at. And what's going to happen is the unit will act just like a house furnace where the fire will come on and it will stay on until your room temperature equals your set temperature, and then the fire will shut down when they equal each other. The room cools down a few degrees, the unit kicks back on, it will cycle on and off to maintain your set temperature because your thermostat is turned on. If you hit thermostat again, you go to the third thermostat mode, thermostat smart. Thermostat smart is basically the same as on. The main difference is it's not only going to turn the flame on and off to maintain your set temperature in the middle, but it will cycle the flame height up and down to help you maintain your set temperature in the middle. So this is day-to-day usage, what most people use, and it also has a memory in the smart mode. So what will happen is once you get everything set where you want and you turn it off and you turn it back on, the settings on the remote control will come back at the previous use settings, so you don't have to go through all the settings again. So day-to-day usage, most people use the smart mode. If you hit thermostat again, you go back to where we started, back to our thermostat off mode. If you notice in the middle, the set temperature goes away because it doesn't matter. The fire is going to run continually in this mode until you shut it off manually. Now the bottom button is called your mode button. It allows you to scroll across these 4, or if you have a newer remote, 5 icons on the bottom. Anytime you have to adjust the icon, when it's highlighted, you use the up and down arrow. So right now flame height is on high. All right, I'm in my manual mode, which allows me to adjust my flame height. You got to remember, for flame height, if that says smart, it skips over the flame height icon because it adjusts it automatically for you. So in off or on, you can manually adjust your flame height. So when the flame height icon is highlighted, come over to the up and down arrows. Right now the flame is on high. If you hit the down arrow, you have 6 different flame height intensities that you can set this to. So I put it down to its lowest flame height setting. There's a little stepper motor. It takes about 10 seconds. If you can see the flame starting to come down. And then you can cut the power and the heat output in half. And we'll put it back up to high. Hit the bottom button once, the mode button. You go to the second icon, which is the fan blade. That's your blower. Same thing, up and down arrows. The blower right now is off. You have 6 different blower speeds. On high, speed 3. The faster blower turns, the more heat it pushes into the room. Hit the bottom mode icon again. You go to the third icon, which is your overhead accent lighting. You have 6 different light intensities. So if you look at the light, you can dim it down. If you don't like it, you can shut it off and put the intensity anywhere in between. There's 6 different light intensity settings. Hit that bottom mode button again, scroll across to the 2 flame icon all the way to the right. If your unit is equipped with 2 burners, which most of them are, most of the linears are not, but if you do have 2 burners, use the bottom button, scroll across to the 2 burner icon. Your front burner is always on. Your back burner could be on or off. Right now it's telling you your back burner is on. If you want to shut it off, hit the down arrow. It shuts off the back burner, leaving just the front burner on. It's another way for you to control the heat output. If you drop out the back burner, there'll be less heat coming into the room. If you want to turn it back on, hit the up arrow, and the back burner will come back on. If you hit the mode button one more time, jump up to that 5th icon. On the newer Fireplace X units only, this is for a lit bottom ember bed. All the Mendota units have this icon. It doesn't do anything. On the older Fireplace X units, they don't even have this icon. So on the newer Fireplace X models, this auxiliary icon is for the bottom ember bed. So if you hit the up arrow, it will light up this bottom lit ember bed, and it's either on or off. To adjust the intensity of this ember bed, there's a little rheostat dial over here that you can go up or down. And if you look at the ember bed, that's at its dimmest, and you can raise it up and make it brighter if you like it like that. And then if you don't like it on at all, just bottom mode button, scroll across up to the auxiliary and hit the off, and it will shut the bottom ember bed light off. Okay. The other thing is you have to make sure that the remote control, if you notice, every time you give the remote control a command, you hear a beep coming from this module. If you give it a command and it beeps, that means that they're talking to each other, they're on the same frequency. If they're not beeping when you hit the buttons on the remote, you may have to sync up the remote control with the receiver box. All right, it's pretty easy to do. On these units, depending if you have a Mendota or if you have a Fireplace X unit, there's on the Fireplace X units, this is a battery box. And if you notice, on that battery box, there's a little PRG button that says program. So if you push this button in once, you hear 3 beeps. If you push the power button on the remote within 7 seconds, it'll beep a few more times saying it received the signal. Now they're talking to each other and they're on the same frequency. On the Mendota, it's a little bit different. There could be a little button. This is an older Mendota, but there could be a little button someplace. If you look down here, it's a little plunger button. Right where my finger is. So that is the reset button on a Mendota. So you would push that button in once, same thing, a series of beeps. Within 7 seconds, you push the power button on the remote control, it'll beep again, saying that it's synced up together. Okay, that's how you will use the Green Smart or ProFlame remote control on a Mendota or a Travis gas fireplace. Thanks for watching.